Hello everybody on the internet watching, and welcome to another Week 8 divisional matchup here in the Totally Normal Football League as the Michigan Hellcats travel to Kingston to take on the division-leading Gators. Some light rains here in Kingston as we're set to kick off. It looks like the Hellcats have won the opening coin toss. They've chosen to defer, so it's going to be the Kingston Gators with first possession of the game. The Kingston Gators going into Week 8 here, 5-1. They'll still need to play a game on Friday to catch up with the Week 7 that got related. But here is Dalton Mini-Small at the 1 to catch the return. He's going to go up the middle of the field, spins a defender, and gets to the 35. And that is where Kingston will begin their first snap of the game. Both starting safeties for the Michigan Hellcats are out with season-ending injuries. So it's going to be Johnny Talladega filling in the hole there at free safety. As Graham Howard is sitting under center. It's going to be a handoff to Kelly Ollie-Jawova. Goes up the right side, makes a man miss, makes a second man miss, picks up a block. He's going backwards, but turns back upfield for a 5-yard gain. That was... I've seen stretch plays, but that one lasted easily 8 seconds. That man went 3 miles to go 1 kilometer for the 2nd and 5 as the Gators make it to their 40. Nathan Sittler in. It's play action. Graham Howard rolling out of the pocket, and it's Pete Moss drifting across on the crosser, catching the ball, leaping high into the air, and he's past the opponent's 50, so the Gators make their way into enemy territory on this first drive of the game. 1st and 10 at the Hellcats 47. Nathan Sittler behind Graham Howard. Sittler on the counter run, runs straight into a defender. He's only going to get a small handful of yards. That's Kyler Borscht on the tackle. Gators make it to the 45. It's 2nd down for them. 2nd and 8 at the 45. And the Gators staying in the strong I formation. Scott Colonel Pop showing pressure. And middle linebacker of the Hellcats. Another counter run. And Nathan Sittler is stopped. Tackle for loss by Bill Pickle on the outside linebacker blitz. And the Gators will find themselves with a 3rd and long. Outside of field goal range. And certainly with this rainy weather, Howard's ability to pass will be affected. Empty formation for Howard, standing in the shotgun, looking for the open man. In trouble! And it's Toby Wrightson who gets to the quarterback, and Graham Howard is sacked. Set to a chorus of boos here in Kingston. And the Hellcats make the defensive stop. Ziggy side smash to punt. Yeah, that sack made it a 4th and 16, and if we see that kind of ferocity from the Michigan Hellcats against the division-leading Gators, we might see a fantastic game. Ziggy side smash kicking a touch back, a bit more to the left, and that would have been a perfect coffin. So the Hellcats will begin their first drive of the game at their own 20-yard line. So it's going to be Del Guler, the backup quarterback, filling in for the injured Alex Fops, who's out for the season with a torn abdominal muscle. Well defended there by Lloyd Marshall, the pass intended for Jeremy B. And Del Guler has had his issues all season long with connecting with this pretty good Hellcats receiving core. You've got Jeremy B, who was leading the league in receiving yards for a time, but Ahmad Cardsgrave and Courtney Grumble also there doing fantastic. Del Guler handing it off to Ace Ducey. Counter run, right side, wide open, makes a man miss, gets to the 35. A fantastic run there by Ace Ducey, and we might see the Hellcats lean more towards their running game today here in Kingston with the rainy weather in effect. But of course, the rain is also going to impact players' abilities to dig into the turf, even with their great cleats. Hellcats at the 34. Jason Grunge on the move. It's a handoff once again to Ace Ducey, but this run stopped for no gain by veteran linebacker Ted McMajors. The The Kingston Gators picked up Ted McMajors in the offseason. He played for the Trash Pandas in their Noble Bowl winning season in Season 1. And he now finds himself playing outside linebacker for Kingston this season. Del Guler, lots of time to throw. Throws it up the middle. Tracy Charger makes a play on the ball and bats it to Jay McDiggle, who completes the interception at the 50-yard line. And Del Guler, look at that. Tracy Charger perfectly volleys it into the hands of the middle linebacker. And the Gators have their first turnover on this rainy Wednesday night. The ball spotted at the opponent's 45. Kingston Gators with a short field ahead of them. Ollie Jawova and Kayleen Rando behind Graham Howard for this snap. 3 minutes 38 to play in the first quarter. It's going to be a Ollie Jawova counter. He turns upfield through the middle, gets only about 3 yards before he's absolutely bowled over. Now, the Kingston Gators definitely tried some experimental plays against the Rollers 2 weeks ago, and it's easy to say nothing really worked. The only points they were able to score were 2 Dalton mini-small kick return touchdowns as Graham Howard has all the time in the world in his pocket. Pump fake, throws it on the comeback to Pete Moss, but it's tipped away by Carler Borscht. So it looks like the Kingston Gators are going back to what had worked for them for the majority of the season. Lots of strong and weak eye formations, lots of counter runs. And Graham Howard standing in the shotgun here for 3rd and 8. As the Hellcats look to stop the Gators for a second time at around the 40-yard line. Once again, no pressure for Graham Howard. Pump fake, throws it up high, and nobody was in the vicinity there. So either that throw came up short, or there was supposed to be a scheduled crossing route that just didn't happen. And once again, the Gators find their drive stalled out in enemy territory at around the 45. So Ziggy side smash to punt again. Out of field goal range with the weather as it is. And this game's still scoreless here in the first quarter. Side smash looking for the edge of the field. He'll just elect to punt it straight forward. And that's a quick touchback. Ben Sports waving for the fair catch. And the Hellcats will begin their second drive of the game at the 20. And this really is a must-win for the Hellcats that are desperately trying to salvage their season. They look so dominant going in at the beginning of the season, but whether it's just been teams metaing against them with their defensive roster changes, as Ace Ducey on the counter run gets about 3 yards for a fumble on the play. It's picked up by Dan Danson. Or no, sorry, that is picked up by David Rains. And the second, possibly the second forced turnover, as Michigan is going to challenge the fumble. They think Ace Ducey was down by contact. So the question here is, did the ball come loose before either an elbow or a knee touches the turf here? This camera angle is terrible. It doesn't really tell us anything. And it looks to me that the ball came out before contact. But we'll see what the referees say about this. If this is not overturned, this will be the second turnover the Hellcats have given up in this quarter alone, which spells disaster for how this day will end up for them. But the play is reversed. The Hellcats will keep the ball. The referees, looking at the replay, deemed he was down by contact. So the Hellcats dodge a bullet on that one. That's going to bring up 2nd and 7 from their 33. Or from their 23, excuse me. Del Guler in the shotgun, looking for someone open. Throws it to Courtney Grumble on the comeback, who gets it just outside the 30-yard line. First down, Hellcats. No, they're going to be 1 yard short of a first down, excuse me. They're at the 29. So they'll need short yardage. Del Guler electing to throw. Mark Maskinson gets to him, forces the early throw, and no one is there to pick up the pieces. 4th down. Now, the game still 0-0. And while maybe teams in the modern era might have a short yardage package and fall over for a first down here, the Hellcats are not going to take any chances with this rainy weather. They're just going to punt it deep to an awaiting Dalton Mini Small. At the 28, he's going to go forward and immediately surrounded by Hellcats. He gets no further than the 25. Or the 35, excuse me. Ball spotted at the 36, so the Kingston Gators are forcing turnovers on defense. However, they need to get their offense in gear. 2 of their drives have stalled at the 40 as it's a fake handoff. Pete Moss on the go route, but well defended there by Frank Honke, who's playing cornerback 2. Again, the Hellcats having to shift around their defensive roster thanks to Ken Knapp and Burt McStabs being out for the season with season-ending injuries. Graham Howard sending Nick Hatchback in motion. We'll talk about him later. Ollie Jawova on the counter run. Lots of space on the left side. Amazing 10-yard run by the former Knitter. And that has been the Kingston Gators' bread and butter all season long. They love the counter runs, mostly because it gives the AI blockers time to get in position in time for Kelly Ollie Jawova to run up and actually do something here as Graham Howard on the crossing route, picked up by Pete Moss at the opponent's 30. A great crossing route, or perhaps a post route there by the rookie receiver. And the Gators are now furthest down the field that they've been all game long, still 0-0 on both sides as we are nearing the end of the first quarter of play. Graham Howard once again in the strong I formation. Ollie Jawova on the counter. Lots of space on the left side. He'll get forward for about 6 or 7 yards, and that'll bring an end to the first quarter of play here in a rainy, dreary Wednesday evening. Hellcat 0, Gators 0. And mud everywhere. On this second and third try, the Gators at the Hellcats' 23-yard line. Howard. Nathan Sittler on the counter run is going to be short of a first down as he runs straight into Elijah Beard, the former Shitbird. But the ball is going to be placed just barely off of the 20, so the Gators will need to fall forward millimeters here to refresh their downs. Now, the Gators love doing play actions in this situation to get way more than what they need. And yes, look at this! But Graham Howard's in trouble, and the gamble does not pay off as DeMarcus Bacon gets to the quarterback. His first tackle and sack of the game. And hubris here as the Gators fans cry out booing. But at least this time, the Gators are in position for a field goal. Henry Buchwald out to kick a 43-yarder in rain. And that's a fake! That's a fake! They throw it! First down! Keaton Bridgewater on the out route on the fake! They fool everybody! Oh! Oh my god! That was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Oh, man, the AI never does that. Holy moly. So the Gators, a fresh set of down inside their opponent's 20, handed off to Kelly Ollie Jawova, who picks up some great blocks there from Kayleen Rando. They're going to get inside the 15. Oh! You'll love to see it, dude. 2nd and 2 for the Gators as they are at the 16. And they're going to continue running with Kelly Ollie Jawova here. And no! And the party is stopped by Marshall Rockenstone. And it's seeming like at least every single Hellcat on the defensive line has gotten to Graham Howard at least once this game already. And that's going to push the Gators back, or not really that far back. They're still at the 16, but Howard in the shotgun for 3rd and 7 in the red zone. They've got some people on the crossing route deep, trying to get at the Bit Plunger, intercepted in the end zone. Or not Bit Plunger, Pete Moss sliding in. Great coverage there by Gary Osiris. Or no, that wasn't Gary Osiris, that was number 40. That was Frank Honke defending Pete Moss. Moss going deep into the end zone. Honke batting it away. And great play on the ball there by Gary Osiris to secure it. And that is another turnover on this rainy Wednesday. And so the Gators one of the best plays of the season, all for nothing, as Del Guler goes out of the pocket, has to throw it away under immense Gators pressure. And with both the Trash Pandas and the Hamilton Rollers knocking at their door, the Gators need a win here to get themselves some breathing room at the end of the season. And the Hellcats, who find themselves at the bottom of the division, it's do or die for them in this scoreless game. Del Guler throws it deep to Jeremy B, but it's swatted away by Lloyd Marshall. That probably would have gone for a touchdown. Jeremy B all season long has been a master at getting separation and going deep. In fact, one of the best games I've ever saw was a preseason game between the Hellcats and the Shitbirds, where he made a clinic here as Del Guler in the shotgun, in trouble, throws it to Jeremy B, but he's going to be short of a first down. He's going to be at the 28. He needed to get to the 30. And another pass defended by Lloyd Marshall. We'll see if the Hellcats decide to go for it. We have less than 5 minutes to go in the half. So Richard stretch pull will punt. It's going to be 4th and 3. Dalton Mini Small at the 20. He's going to run forward, and he's only going to get a couple yards past the 30. And Kingston with another great defensive stop. And the momentum swinging back and forth here in this game early. Let's kick off our Wednesday doubleheader. Hellcats loading up the tackle box, showing a lot of pressure to stop this incoming run. Kelly Olajuwon finds the weak side of the field. And he almost gets it to the 40. Yeah, the Hellcats showed a lot of pressure there, trying to stop this running game of the Gators. But Olajuwon and Kayleen Rando can seemingly make holes out of nowhere, but Howard's in the shotgun on 2nd down, going for the pass, in trouble, intercepted by number 45, and we have our first score of the game. Nicholas Five-Iron, the best cornerback in Season 1 for the Shitbirds, making possibly his first appearance for the Hellcats this season, getting the pick 6, and the Hellcats lead here in Kingston. Ben Kauchet to kick the extra point. And it's good. The Hellcats lead 7-0. That was Dion Shankmeat posturing to the crowd. So yeah, the Gators going in the shotgun for a 2nd down, perhaps trying out some throwing offense, but amazing play there by Nicholas Five-Iron. And it's a wonder why the Hellcats waited this long into the season to start placing him in a more prominent role on the roster. Although, to be fair, Biggs Grande has been doing fantastic. And we even saw Frank Honke make a great play on the ball. So there's so much depth to these defensive backs here on the Hellcats, even with Burt McStabbs and Ken Knapp out for the season. They're doing well. Graham Howard, once again, under control. They're going to start this drive from the 21. Hellcats showing pressure. It's going to be a counter run to Ollie Jawova. He's got Mark Bustle in front of him, but Ollie Jawova doesn't find the hole. He's going to be at the 27. Still an amazing run. He's 7 for 40 yards today. But if there's one thing the Gators want to avoid, it's another big home loss. Ollie Jawova once again on the counter. Gets away. Amazing blocks on the left side. First down, Gators. As Ollie Jawova runs past the 35. And now the Gators over 50 yards rushing. Two minutes, 46 seconds left in the first half of play. No fullback. It's going to be Ollie Jawova right down the middle. Shakes a tackle. Keeps going. And it's that's Kyler Borst hanging on for dear life as Ollie Jawova nearly makes it to the 50. A great halfback dive play there. And the Gators running the ball down the field into the jaws of this Hellcats defense. 1st and 10 at their own 48. Howard in the shotgun. This spelled disaster last time. They'll throw it to Biff Plunger, who picks it up at the opponent's 35. In tight coverage, Gary Osiris making the tackle. And that's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Biff Plunger's first reception of the day. He's been playing tight end for the majority of the season, and this is his first game starting as a wide receiver, following the trend that a lot of other teams have been having, or have been doing with their tight ends. Nathan Sittler on the counter. He's got open space. Gets about 7 yards before he's tackled down by Kyler Borscht, and the linebackers here for the Hellcats working overtime. I'll continue my story in a moment. Graham Howard in the shotgun over the middle and nearly intercepted by Kyler. But we saw with the Janitors, they moved Harold Van Pannel from the O-line to tight end to wide receiver. And because general managers have a lot of creativity and control over their offensive playbooks, they can start a wide receiver at a tight end position. As Kelly Olajuwon has a great run here for 15 yards. He's going to get it to the Hellcats 15 with 1:30 left on the clock. And so they've moved Biff Plunger to help out with the outside run blocking, and that's a sack! Although it looks like he got a forward throw out, so it's not a sack, but great pressure there this time from Elijah Beard once again. 2nd down, Kingston. They'll remain at the 15. And man, the tuck rule in overtime here in the TNFL all season long. Nathan Sittler. Oh, they kept it! It's to Caleb Rando on the flat. It's going to be 3rd down for Kingston. They need to make it 3 yards to the 5 to pick up a 1st down. Nathan Sittler looking to power run it in. The Hellcats tightening up, looking to prevent the dive, but Graham Howard's going to throw it to the outside, and it's Nick Hatchback, who's now the starting tight end to fill the void left by Biff Plunger. His first start since season 1 as a tight end. His first reception goes for a touchdown, and Kingston looks to tie it up here as we're nearing the end of the first half of play. Nick Hatchback has been a tight end his entire career for the Gators, and with Biff Plunger being moved to wide receiver 1, he can once again show everybody that he deserves that spot. The kick is good, and we have a tie game once again here in Kingston. 7-7 all. Lots of turnovers, but lots of great game as both teams appear to have found their step and rhythm. And Henry Buchwald to kick it back to the Hellcats, looking to add on some extra points with only 1:07 remaining in the half. The Hellcats won the opening coin toss, so they will get possession back to begin the second half of play. So we'll see how gun-ho they go here with this possession. Ben Sports at the 3. He's at the 20. He's making the play into the 30. Tackled at the 30 by big ol' Travis Payne. And Travis Payne, who used to be wide receiver number 3, the big bully receiver as I call them. He's taken aside with Dalton Mini-Small now making a bit more snaps now. But Del Guler, empty formation here as they're at the 31. They'll be looking to pass here. In trouble, Matthew Hart Bishop, but what amazing catch there by Damar Sage on the in route. Del Guler was in 9 kinds of trouble there with Matthew Hart Bishop breathing down his throat, and that's going to be a 9-yard completion, 2nd and 1 for the Hellcats as they use a timeout. Del Guler, once again, Matthew Hart Bishop, as he throws it to a corner route intended for Jeremy B, and Lloyd Marshall makes a play on the ball to bat it away. That is going to bring up a 3rd and short for the Hellcats. Are they simply going to run it forward? There's only 53 seconds left. The Hellcats with only 2 timeouts remaining, and they will throw it in trouble. Mark Maskinson forces the fumble, but thankfully the guard falls on it. That's Gabriel Menace securing the ball after the fumble. That's the first time we finally see a sacked quarterback attempting to throw the ball result in a fumble. But that's going to push the Hellcats back to 4th and 5. So the Gators will have another possession in the first half. Takes it straight and true. Dalton Mini-Small at the 11. Has 3 Hellcats in front of him, and he is unable to get to the 20. Tackled down at around the 18, 19-yard line. And so the Gators will not get possession back after the half, so they need to get points off of this drive to swing momentum squarely back in their favor. We'll see what they decide to do here. Ollie Jawova tackled for a loss. Great play there by Dante Landraws, getting another TFL on the day. That's going to push Kingston back to a 2nd and long. The Gators at their 16 now. Ollie Jawova and Kaylee Mirando behind. So it looks like the Gators are going to continue running the ball and burning clock, which I don't exactly agree with. Ollie Jawova getting a few yards as Kingston uses one of their 3 timeouts with 17 seconds remaining. Some curious play calling here as we're on a 3rd and long type situation. And 3rd down has not been a friend to either team. The Gators 2 for 6. The Hellcats 0 for 3. And the Gators going to throw it to Kelly Ollie Jawova, who turns upfield for a 1st down past the 30, to be fair. Kingston uses a 2nd timeout. I don't know who would run it in that situation, but here we are. The drive is alive. 13 seconds paused on the clock thanks to another timeout, and Howard is in the shotgun. No doubt pressure coming to him from the Hellcats, so let's see if he can't get any separation from his pump fake. Throws it, gets it to Peyton Moss, who's at the 30, and the Kingston uses their final timeout with 8 seconds left on the clock. They'll possibly bring out the field goal unit here. Yes, they're going to go for a 47-yarder, but with the weather as it is, this field goal attempt has a big question mark. Henry Buckwald to try. And it's good. So Kingston will lead going into the half. They now have 10 points after the successful field goal. A great catch there by Pete Moss to set up the field goal in the dying seconds of the 1st half. And it looks like the rain has let up a little bit. Henry Buckwald kicks the squib, and that's going to go out of bounds. That's a penalty. Kickoffs cannot go out of bounds. So the Hellcats will get the ball back with a somewhat short field as the ball is placed on the 40. And they'll have 4 seconds to make some kind of magic happen. If there's anyone who can, it'd be Jeremy B. So the Gators will look to double cover him. Empty formation for Del Guler, stepping back in the pocket. They send 4 over the middle to Damar Saj, but doesn't get any further as the Gators converge on him. We end the 1st half of play. The Kingston Gators up 10-7 against the visiting Hellcats, who are desperately looking for a win here to get themselves out of 4th place in the division. Henry Buckwald kicking it back to the Hellcats. Ben Sports at the 2. And the 2nd half begins. Ben Sports gets a bunch of good blocks, tackled down at the 29 by Travis Payne. Del Guler has been not doing too bad this game. He's had 2 interceptions to be granted, but these last couple drives he's been pretty good. Gators sent 5, leaving Ahmad Cardsgrave open in the middle, tackled down by Jay McDiggle. They'll got 7 yards on the pass. That was great work there by Del Guler, reading through the blitz and performing the pass. 2nd and 3. The Hellcats at their 36. Guler in the shotgun next to Ace Ducey. Hellcats throw it over the middle. Nice tip away by Jay McDiggle. Once again intended for Damar Saj over the middle. And fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, Jay McDiggle's going to reach to the heavens. Third down. The Hellcats have not yet successfully converted on third down this game, but with it only being 3rd and 3, they might have a chance here if they hand it off to Ace Ducey. But no, Del Guler will throw over the middle. It's complete for a first down to Ahmad Cardsgrave, and he'll get it to the 43. Over the middle, through the woods and straight into Cardsgrave's hands. Great work, him finding open space in the middle. And the drive is alive for the Hellcats. At their 43, 1st and 10, 6 minutes 50 remaining in the quarter. Motion for the Hellcats. They throw it to the drag route, but Jeremy B is going to be tackled for no loss. That was a very shallow drag route, and he had to run a little bit backwards in order to catch the ball, and Terry Smashmouth, Defensive Player of the Year in Season 1, tackles him. That's going to be a 2nd and 10 for the Hellcats. Guler goes to throw. Gators only send 4, and he's in trouble as Smashmouth makes another defensive play in a row. He gets his first sack of the game, sending Del Guler tumbling to the muddy turf. And the Gators cheering on their defenses. It's now 3rd and very long for the Hellcats, 3rd and 13. So Guler looking to go deep. Gators in a prevent defense here, sending 3 over the middle, defended. I'm not sure who that was to. Oh, so it was to Jeremy B with Lloyd Marshall tipping the ball away. And here comes the punting unit for the Hellcats. 45 average punts is pretty good numbers for Richard Stretchbull. Obviously, you never want to see your punter get reps because that means you're giving up drives, but nonetheless, great work here, and we might see, oh, a nice bounce, and this ball is going to be spotted at the 11. An incredible punt by Richard Stretchbull gives the Gators a long field ahead of them. So the Hellcats looking to capitalize on that great punt on defense, because that means they'll receive a punt if they get the 3 and out here at around the 50 or the 45. Play action pass, throws it deep to Pete Moss at the 45 of the Hellcats. Frank Honke allowing the smallest amount of separation, allowing Pete Moss to get the catch. And just like that, the Gators slingshot over to the other side of the field, past the 50 to their opponent's 46-yard line. Moss up to 117 yards this game. And now, Ollie Jawova up the middle, cuts about 3 different ways, but he's only going to find about 3 yards as he ping-pongs off against at least 3 defenders. Second and 7 for the Gators at their opponent's 42-yard line. Ollie Jawova and Rando behind once again. Ollie Jawova up the middle, finds a great hole for a first down past the 35. Ryan tapped down, making the tackle. Possibly filling in for a tired Gary Osiris. Well, Gary Osiris is back there, so. 1st and 10 at the 34. Counter run for Ollie Jawova. He's going to get a little bit ahead of his blocker there. Jamad Gilbert a bit slow on his blocking assignment. The Gators are only going to get about 2 yards off of that if they made it to the 37. Or the 32, sorry. 2nd and 8 for the Gators. 3 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play. Ollie Jawova the only back. Graham Howard takes a single step back. He tries to throw it to a Biff Plunger slant, but defended there by Jonathan Biggs-Grande, who's been pretty quiet all game long, and not due to anything, well, perhaps maybe he is doing his job too well. He's shadowing Biff Plunger. And Howard has not been really throwing it to Biff Plunger's way. 3rd down for the Gators. They throw it to Ollie Jawova on the halfback option, but can't turn up field enough. Scott Colonel Pop tackling him down. And the Gators will have to settle for a field goal on this drive. It's a 48-yarder. The rain has let up. But Henry Buchwald has already made a similar kick from this distance. And it's no good. It's slightly to the left. And so the Gators will still only lead here by 3. And that's going to be a turnover for the Hellcats. They're going to get the ball with a somewhat short field. They're at their 37. Del Guler going back. Mark Maskinson saying hello. And that's easily intercepted by number 90 playing zone coverage, Matthew Hart Bishop. So the early throw being forced there by Gators pressures. Del Guler has no chance but to throw it away to save their field position. But it's in the area of Matthew Hart Bishop. Another Gators turnover. And the Gators are at their opponent's 42. Play action pass. That's the Biff Plunger, who's in front of Jonathan Biggs Grande. He gets it at the Hellcats' 12-yard line. And the Gators take the turnover and are about to convert it into a big scoring gain. Perhaps, at the very least, a field goal here as they're in easy chip shot range. Nathan Sittler and Ollie Jawova in the backfield. As they're on the 13. Play action pass over the middle. It's complete to Dalton Mini-Small at the 1. A great play there by the Hellcats defense to prevent a touchdown. And anyone who's ever played a game where health is an issue, 1 is not 0. And that is certainly what the Hellcats are looking for here. They're going to apply a lot of pressure. Nathan Sittler on the counter trips over a defender. That was Raymond Bumpercrop on the goal line defense formation, preventing Nathan Sittler from punching it in. Amazing defense from the away team, trying everything they can to limit the Gators to a field goal, as now it's second. Ollie Jawova and Haley Miranda. Ollie Jawova punches it in as Scott Colonel Pop is unable to keep him out of the end zone. Touchdown, Gators. Kelly Olajuwova 2 yards away from the century mark. Kaylee Miranda does a freaking edge spear to clear the way. That was sick. And this Kingston crowd is celebrating as they've now grown to a 2-score lead, leading by 10. Or they will lead by 10, assuming this extra point kick by Henry Buchwald is good. And it is. The paperwork is complete, and the Gators lead 10. 17-7 here in Kingston. The Hellcats need a win tonight to stay in the very competitive race here in the Over Here division, as we only have 2 more weeks after today to play. And the Kingston Gators looking for a win in order to create a cushion for themselves to coast into the postseason as the number 1 Over Here division seed. So they get home field advantage. Ben Sports at the 2 receives the kick. He's got blockers in front aplenty, but no, getting around the blockers is Chase Supperton from the side. He's going to stop the kickoff return just short of the 30. The ball spotted at the 26. And that's going to be 1st and 10 for Del Guler. So now the pressure is on for the visiting team. They need to march down the field here as we are now nearing the end of the 3rd. Draw play from Ace Ducey, pardons me his way all the way to the 40. An incredible play there by Ace. And we don't really see too many draw plays anymore from these teams. Sorry, that's the 35, bringing up a 2nd and 1. Del Guler in the shotgun, looking to get a bit more than 1. Mark Maskinson gets the pressure, but on the comeback route is Jason Grunge, or perhaps that was Damar Sage, one of the tight ends. On the comeback, he catches it for a 1st down. Great pass there by Del Guler. He almost ran out of time. But the Hellcats get another set of downs as they made it to their 37-yard line. 1st and 10. That brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Play action here for Del Guler, throwing it to a double-covered Courtney Grumble. Tracy Charger credited for the defense. And with only 8 minutes to go in this game, the Hellcats need 2 scores. They need a field goal and a touchdown to tie it. And Del Guler with this empty set is looking to go long with his receivers. Only a single step. It's a quick pass to Jeremy B, but Lloyd Marshall covering him, goes into the backfield with him, and this is going to be stopped for a loss. That's going to count as a tackle for loss for Lloyd Marshall. So the Hellcats trying a bit of a screenless screen there, it looked like. But no, they're going to find themselves on third down at the 35. Del Guler in the shotgun. Gators send 5. They throw it. It's intercepted by Chase Supperton. And the ball is going the other way, but Chase has injured his arm. He jumped up for the ball, covering Ahmad Cardsgrave on that play. Chase Supperton, the nickelback for the Gators, came down to the muddy turf, and now he's getting his arm checked out. We'll hope he's okay as the Gators get yet another turnover here. They'll begin the drive from their own 44. Hellcats sending pressure. Ollie Jawova running right up the gut. He's going to get about 4 yards. Nearly making it to the 50. And the rain has picked up once again here in Kingston. 2nd and 6, 6 minutes 50 and counting left in the game. Play action pass. Biff Plunger has separation, but Graham Howard settles for throwing it to the flat, but well defended there by the Hellcats. Perhaps didn't want to test deep here with the rain as it is. So Chase Supperton just strained his tricep. I say just, an incredibly painful injury there for sure, but nothing major. He is scheduled to return on Nathan Sittler, attempting an in route. Doesn't get the first down. So it's going to come up with a 4th and inches for the Gators. We'll see if they decide to go for it. They faked a field goal earlier, which was insane. I've never seen that, so we'll see what Ziggy Side Smash decides to do here. The Kingston Gators hold a 2-score lead, so perhaps they'll play it safe. 6 minutes, 5 seconds remaining on the clock, and it will be a punt. And it will be a touchback as well. Oh, so close to a coffin, but bounces into the end zone. The Hellcats will get the ball at the 20 as the rain has really picked up here. And the Hellcats, they won the coin toss. They took the wind advantage, deferring possession. So the wind supposedly at the back of the Hellcats. Del Guler in a pretty typical formation here. He steps back, throws over the middle, intercepted by Ted McMajors, intended on a drag route, and very quickly the Gators get the ball back. And that might have been the chances of the Hellcats getting back into this game evaporating. The tight end drag route, disastrous for the veteran linebacker. And Nathan Sittler on the counter run gets stopped for a loss of 1 by Bill Pickle. Second and 10. The Gators at their opponent's 20. Sittler's still behind. Sittler gets it on the off-tackle run, but unfortunately, Nick Hatchback can't keep his block on Dante Landros, who breaks through and stops the run for, if not no gain, a loss of half a yard. And so Kingston now finds themselves 3rd down and a little long. Howard in the shotgun, so they're going to go for a short yardage, or not short yardage, a throw here. They're going to throw it to Pete Moss, but it's going to be overthrown, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So Kingston is going to bring out the field goal unit. A 38-yard field goal attempt in the rain, coming down the hardest it's been all night. Henry Buchwald 1 for 2. 38-yarder is shorter than his previous attempts, and this one is good. And the Gators will go ahead 13. They lead the visiting Michigan Hellcats 20-7. 4 minutes 41 seconds remaining in the game. It's not over for the Hellcats, but they need to get it going here quickly. They attempted a very rapid pace passing game their last drive, but their first drag route was immediately intercepted by Ted McMajors. They need to avoid those Kingston turnovers as Ben Sports receives the ball in his own end zone. He's got a wide field in front of him, but in comes Martin Fennick to tackle him down at the 30. First and 10 for the Hellcats. Do or die. Rain coming down even harder here. Perhaps they'll call upon Jeremy B to get them back in this game. They need 2 touchdowns to go ahead. Del Guler attempts to throw it to the flat, but Tracy Charger batting it away. He almost made an interception on the play. And the Hellcats really love the look of their drag routes, but man, they are throwing it way too late. Is Del Guler to the drag route. Second and 10. On their 21 are the Hellcats. Del Guler stepping back in trouble. Mark Baskinson gets it to an open Damar Sage running the post route. He gets into enemy territory outside of the 45. And yeah, he runs a bit of a sail here. A great route by the tight end. And the Hellcats take a substantial chunk of yardage on that passing play. The ball spotted at the Gators 46. Guler sets Damar Sage in motion. Steps back, looking to throw. Mark Baskinson in trouble. Gets it to Jeremy B at the 35. First down, Hellcats. And they have momentum here. They need 2 touchdowns and quick. As we are coming to the end of this game and quick. They still have time to pull off the upset win here in the second half. 3 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. The ball spotted at the Gators 34. Oh, intended to Jeremy B once again on the slant. Jeremy B got on the inside of the defender. He was really open to that pass, but wasn't in a position to grab the ball and make a play on it. And that would have been a first down for them. That would have been a big play as they continue to march into the red zone. And the Hellcats with an empty set for second and 10. And in trouble, Matthew Hart Bishop once again with a sack. This time with an actual sack. He's gone to the quarterback a couple of times this game. The others counting as incomplete passes, and that's going to push the Hellcats back far. Hellcats only 1 for 6 on third down. Guler catches a high snap in the shotgun, throws it over to a comeback route, Jeremy B, but it's nowhere near a first down. And so the Hellcats will have to settle for a field goal, which isn't the worst thing in the world right now. That reduces the depth. No, they'll go for it on 4th. Screw everything. Screw what I said. Del Guler, empty set on 4th. It's do or die for the Hellcats. Looking for a good route. In trouble as it is Quentin Screamley bringing down the quarterback. Turnover on downs. Quentin Screamley, the former Knitter, brings down the QB, and the Gators will get the ball back at their own 39. 2 minutes, 16 seconds, but with a multiple score lead, the chances of the Hellcats getting back in this game are slim. But anything can happen in this rainy weather. Graham Howard, Eli Jawova on the counter. He's stopped for big loss. He fumbles the ball. It's picked up by it looks like Andy Woe picking it up. Yes, that was Andy Woe picking it up, and right as I said anything could happen, I thought that was going to be a fumble recovery touchdown, which would have been the momentum shift of a lifetime for the Hellcats. But instead, it's going to count as a loss of 1. The Gators 2nd and 11 with 1:55 remaining as we hit the 2-minute warning. Oli Jawova dashing through the middle. He's going to get about 5 yards on that run as the Hellcats use their first of 3 timeouts. And the Hellcats... Oh, man, I almost disagree with them going for a touchdown on 4th down there. I think taking the field goal would have at least made the dream a little bit more real, as it's a play action. It's a deep pass to Biff Plunger, and Biff Plunger gets a touchdown, Gators, and this one's in the barn. And this one's in the bag. I somehow put the phrases "the hay's in the barn" and "this one's in the bag" and kind of blended them together, making an incomprehensible mess. But Biff Plunger with his first touchdown reception of the game, and the Kingston Gators with the extra points now go up 20-7, and the Hellcats season turns from promising quickly to a season from hell, as Del Guler, probably his best game so far, which is, it sounds like I'm taking the piss when the Hellcats only score 7 points this game. But with how much Del Guler has been struggling, he does seem to be making improvements every single week. But it's going to be too little too late. Henry Buchwald kicking it back to the Hellcats. Join us at the top of the hour for our second game of the night every Tuesday and Wednesday here, as long as the season is going strong. We have a doubleheader for you. Coming up, it's the Seattle Stoats in an absolute do-or-die situation against the San Francisco Shitbirds. Stay tuned for that after the conclusion of this game. 1:45 remaining for the Hellcats. They're going to try and play this out as Matthew Hart Bishop gets another sack on the day. And that's going to be the sacks keep coming, and they don't stop coming. This time, David Rains bringing down Del Guler as the Hellcats use one of their timeouts. Third and 20, and immediately David Rains wasting no time. 4th and 23 for the Hellcats. Guler throws it over the middle, and that's going to be a turnover on downs, and Kingston is going to be right in front of the Hellcats end zone. That whole drive reeked of desperation. And David Rains almost making a play on the ball for an interception there. A minute 21 remaining, and Kingston is going to get a penalty. And that's going to be a false start. I don't get a pop-up to see who it was. But one of the Gators receiving a false start penalty, and that's going to push them back. Not that it matters too much. The Hellcats stacking up the tackle box. Ollie Jawova getting about 3-4 yards on that. Tackled down by Dante Landraws. And the Gators will go up to 6-1 on the season, giving themselves a 2-win pad over second place in the division. And Kaylee Brando being audible to the line. Ollie Jawova perhaps going on the counter, and he's wide open. Stopped just 1 yard short by Kyler Borscht. 56 seconds on the clock. We'll see if the Gators decide to just kneel here, or if they'll punch it in for a touchdown. And the Gators will try and go for a touchdown. Nathan Sittler in. 3rd and goal. Sittler with it's a play action pass. What are you doing? What's that play call with 36 seconds left? 20 points ahead. That is just disrespectful. What are you doing? Henry Buchwald now for a chip shot field goal. What are you thinking? There we go. The chip shot good. Gators go up to 30. Leading by 23 now against the Hellcats. So the Gators have the Beefers to look forward to this Friday as they play their Week 7 game, as Week 7 was split apart as we were off last week. We capped our regularly scheduled Week 8 games for Tuesday and today, but Week 7 was split up between Friday 2 weeks ago and this upcoming Friday. So after Friday night, we'll have everything back to normal. Ben Sports receiving the kickoff at their goal line. Tackle down at the 20, 31 seconds remaining. The Hellcats playing for pride at this point. Jeremy B silent all game. He's made a couple of great passes to keep drives alive, but we haven't seen any of those Jeremy B breakaways that he's been terrorizing teams with in the early part of the season. Del Guler stepping back, throws it to a screen pass to Courtney Grumble, that being utterly smushed by the Gators. Over the middle, Ahmad Cardsgrave gets a great reception at the 30. And the Hellcats will use their final timeout with 17 seconds remaining. Get it over, incomplete pass. That'll bring up 4th down. No timeouts remaining. And the Hellcats will punt it. Hellcats punting it to the left side. Dalton Mini-Small catching it at the 27. He's quickly tackled down. And I believe the Gators will kneel it in order to finish off the game. And what a confidence builder again. It is against an injured Hellcats team who's been struggling in the wake of injuries, but the Gators using the opportunity to get their groove back after being humiliated by the Hamilton Rollers. And with that kneel, the Kingston Gators will go to 6-1 on the season. And this started out as a defensive slugfest. And it ended up with the Gators absolutely pulling away. Of course, this being a battle that was won on turnovers. The Gators' defense was all over Del Guler, especially at the second half there. And we'll go to passer rating and game here. Yeah, Del Guler, the 14.2, throwing 4 interceptions, no touchdowns, a completion percentage of 44. Graham Howard throwing a 52 completion percentage, and Andre Fourscore, the greatest of all time, dude. I can't believe the Gators decided to throw it instead of kick a field goal. Unfortunately, that drive ending in an interception at the end zone, so points were not made off of it, but my God, what a thing that was. Yeah, Graham Howard, 83.9, not the best passer rating he's gotten this season, but definitely great, 252 yards. It was mostly Kelly Oli-Jawova doing the work here. 115 yards, 1 rushing touchdown. Ace Ducey definitely deserved some more handoffs. Nathan Sittler, 8 yards on 7 carries. Not super great, but a lot of players here sacked or a loss. Like Jeremy B and Del Guler both having negative yardage on rushing, having received the ball behind the line of scrimmage. And yeah, your receiving leader, Pete Moss, 4 for 117. Biff Plunger, 3 for 102. And Damar Saj, the tight end, the best receiver on the Hellcats, 4 for 51. On defense, your tackles total is Frank Hockey and Kyler Borscht, with the Hellcats defense being on the field for longer. Makes more sense that they lead in tackles. And Jay McDougall leads the Gators with 5 tackles. Your sacks leader, Matthew Hart Bishop, piled it on, 3 sacks. Quentin Screamley getting 1, as well as David Rains. Holy, everyone got sacked. Both Graham Howard and Del Guler got sacked. DeMarcus Bacon, Marshall Rockenstone, and Toby Wrightson getting in on the action. And your interceptions leader, I lost where interceptions were. There it is. Oh my God, there's 6 interceptions in this game. And yeah, forced fumbles. Mark Maskinson forcing a fumble, and Toby Wrightson almost forcing a fumble that would have been a huge momentum swinger, but unfortunately unable to capitalize.